Hello, my name is Macy Armstrong. Today I will be talking to you about the ISTE Standards for Educators, or ISTE Standards. I will be relating these standards to works I've completed in my IDT 3600 class. So let's get started. The first standard is learner. Educators continually improve their practice by learning from and with others and exploring proven and promising practices that leverage technology to improve student learning. The substandards are listed here. So I think what this means is that as educators, we're continually learning and exploring new ways of learning so that we can then bring that knowledge back to our students in different ways. Some ways that I believe that I have embodied this learner standard is through discussion posts. We're asked to write a discussion post each week and comment on each other's posts. This is a great way, at least that I found, that I was able to embody the learner standard because many times I did have to research a topic before I talked about it. And giving feedback to your peers and the peers that gave feedback to me was a great way for me to learn about new ideas and fix problems that could arise. Another way I embodied the learner standard is through my Prezi presentation. I'd never used a Prezi before, and what was difficult for me was being able to, after you've created your canvas, being able to add a new page. I could not figure out how to do that. For some reason, they would not enlarge. And learning how to do that, figuring it out, I was able to then create my Artsonia Prezi for this class. Another way I embodied the learner standard is through creating my web quest. So I created a color wheel web quest for an art classroom, 6th through 8th grade. And before I created the color wheel web quest, I actually completed a web quest on how to create a web quest. So I learned how to create the web quest before completing a web quest. It was really fun. The second standard is leader. Educators seek out opportunities for leadership to support student empowerment and success and to improve teaching and learning. The substandards are listed here. So basically what this means is that as a teacher, we're always trying to be leaders and good examples and set good examples for our students. But we don't just want to do that through our character, we also want to do that through our teaching styles too. Some ways that I think I was a great leader in this class, or utilized the leader standard, is through creating a video. So we had to create an example of a screencast, an audio capture, and a video. And I think in creating that video, I think I can use this knowledge now of how to create a video, and I can create or record a video of myself lecturing in my art classroom. I think that's going to be a really great tool that I'll be able to use in my future classroom. Another way is through my Artsonia Prezi. I think Artsonia is just an incredible tool. What it is it's an online virtual museum where students can upload their work, and then they have their own page, their own museum page, where teachers and family and faculty and anyone who wants to go view that student's work can see it online. Using this example, creating the Artsonia Prezi made me a better leader because I was able to, in learning how to create a Prezi, I was then able to teach others how to create one as well. And I think this Prezi is a demonstration of a positive, fun, creative project. The third standard for educators is citizen. Educators inspire students to positively contribute to and responsibly participate in the digital world. The substandards are listed here. I think some ways that I was able to embody the citizen standard is through my blog post. So basically what the citizen standard talks about is putting out positive work. And I think a blog post is a really great way you can do that because it's your own thoughts, your own ideas, and if you monitor what students do, you can make sure those ideas are all positive and sharing those with others. I think some blogs are so inspiring. I have certain people that I follow a lot, and creating my own blog is something that I've always been passionate about, so that was so much fun. Another way I embodied the citizen standard is through my lesson plan. I think my lesson plan was a positive, exciting, fun way to engage the students. I think having them create their own PowerPoint is another way to make them accountable through their research, but then also that shows them how to create something positive and meaningful as well. And the third way is through, again, my Artsonia page. I think Artsonia is just the most valuable tool, and I think in creating a Prezi, I was able to create something, again, meaningful and positive and exciting and engaging, and something that the students will be able to look at and want to learn about. The next standard is collaborator. Educators dedicate time to collaborate with both colleagues and students to improve practice, discover and share resources and ideas, and solve problems. The standards are listed here. Some ways that I was able to embody the collaborator standard is through not necessarily this class for this first example, but I am a summer camp leader. I am the arts and crafts coordinator for Immaculate Conception Summer Camp. And I put a picture here of the daily activities that we had to collaborate on and create together. We have 4 separate crafts a day, plus we go on a field trip a week, and brainstorming those ideas in a group, I feel, was a great way that I embodied the collaborator standard. Another way is through my Out of the Dust video book reading. I think this is a really great way that as a teacher you can collaborate with fellow teachers and have video recordings of lessons, of reading stories, of just there are numerous possibilities. And finding this video added a great element to my lesson plan. Another way is through my blog. I think collaborating on a student blog, a class blog, is a really great way that you can keep connected with your students, with your classroom, and with also your parents as well. While I do have all standards listed, the last standard I'm going to talk about is the analysis standard. Educators understand and use data to drive their instruction and support students in achieving their learning goals. Some ways that I think I embodied this analyst standard is through the use of my spreadsheet. I had to create a spreadsheet about the different caloric makeups of certain fast foods, and Math is not my forte, so doing this was extremely difficult. I spent probably 6 hours trying to figure it out, and finally asked for help from my sister when she got home from work, and she did it in about 3 minutes, figured out the formula. Um, but once she was able to help me grasp it and I did it on my own, it was a breeze. And I felt so much more confident after that. Another way is through my graphic organizer. I created a graphic organizer for an assignment. This one is on the first presidents of the United States. And I think analyzing data and deciding what kind of data you're going to put into your graphic organizer is very important, because you want to put things that relate and not just have nonsensical information about each topic. Another way I think that I embodied that standard is through my latest lesson plan. I created a lesson plan about the Dust Bowl and the book by Karen Hess, Out of the Dust. And I think this was a great example of how I was able to embody the analyst standard, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're analyzing data and deciding what data you're going to put into your lesson plan. You're creating modifications, you're creating steps. I think being able to create this lesson plan and figuring out exactly what to say, relating the standards to your lesson plan, was tricky and difficult, but rewarding at the end, because I feel my lesson plan is a fun, exciting, interesting lesson. Speaking of lesson plans, I think this whole class total really gave me the knowledge I needed to prepare myself for the future. I actually had 3 job interviews the past couple weeks where I needed to submit a lesson plan, and after all the practice I've gotten from this class, it was so easy to do. Easy and fun, actually, and I'm pretty confident that I now have a job lined up. So thank you so much to this class. Thank you so much to my teachers. I was challenged. I was overwhelmed, but overall, I was rewarded, and I got so much out of this class. More than I ever could have imagined.